Kautex is a Textron company. Our Windsor production plant was established in 1986, producing several fuel tank systems.
Kautex Windsor is committed to providing
a safe,
healthy,
and violence-free workplace
to all employees.
Kautex Windsor encourages each employee
to act in a manner
that will generate attention
to the factors that may contribute to workplace violence.
Kautex Windsor will exercise every precaution reasonable
to protect and prevent against situations of workplace violence.
Kautex Windsor is committed
to effective communication and training to all employees
in regards to factors that may contribute to workplace violence,
as well as assisting those employees
who have been exposed to workplace violence.
Guests must sign in and out of the visitor's information log, completing all of the information requested. Visitors must conform to all current health, safety, and environmental legislation, as well as the Occupational Health and Safety Act for Ontario. While entering any other area other than the office, appropriate PPE must be worn at all times. CSA-approved safety glasses or side shields, approved safety shoes or toe caps, hearing protection, and a visitor's vest are a minimum requirement. Stay within the blue painted walkways while in the facility at all times unless otherwise instructed by your host. Guests must receive permission from the Kautex representative if a visitor needs to enter a work area throughout the plant. Stay with your host at all times unless instructed to do otherwise. Visitors cannot perform any type of work or use company equipment unless permission is granted. Special training will be required if work is to be performed. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Watch for forklift traffic. Do not use cell phones, flash cameras, or audio recording devices without consent. Be aware of exits and fire alarms for emergency and evacuation purposes. Follow your host's instructions in the case of an emergency. Smoking is strictly prohibited in the facility. However, smoking is allowed in the designated posted areas only. Food and drinks are not permitted on the production floor. There is a cafeteria where eating and drinking is permitted. Follow all posted signs throughout the plant. Report all accidents and/or injuries to your host immediately. When leaving the facility, please ensure all PPE equipment is returned and that you sign out of the visitor's information log. Sign contractor health and safety agreement. General contractors must have received WSIB clearance certificate, no more than 60 days old. An up-to-date liability insurance certificate is required, listing your company as the cardholder with a minimum of $2 million coverage. Licenses and certificates for contractor employees are required, as well as other applicable training requirements. For example, AZ license, welding tickets, etc. The equipment lockout policy and procedure must be followed. Contractors must provide MSDS for all WMS-controlled products. A contractor must advise of any special hazards that may be connected with their work or materials. A Kautex representative can then inform them of our safety response procedures. Minor injuries only require on-site first aid. Follow the minor injury procedure. Escort injured employee to first aid room if in production, or to the closest wall-mounted first aid kits. Page a trained first aid attendant for appropriate treatment. First aid attendants are posted in the main hallway. The first aid attendant will care for the injured employee exclusively from that point forward, unless additional support is required. When the attendant is completed with the injury treatment, they will document the treatment in the first aid log found in the area. Major injuries require 911 services. Follow the major injury procedure. Call first aid attendant for help. Call 911 for appropriate services. The purpose of our injury procedures is to establish a uniform means of reporting, documenting, and following up on the reported safety hazards at Kautex Windsor plant. An injury is an event that results in the physical harm of an employee. An illness is a deviation from the normal healthy state of the body. The following categories of injuries, illnesses, and safety hazards will be reported regardless of the nature or severity of the incident: occupational illness, environmental release or spill, fire, near miss, property damage, first aid, healthcare, lost time injury, critical injury, fatality. A worker who sustains an injury or becomes ill as a result of a work-related condition or activity must report the injury or illness to a supervisor or manager immediately. If because of the nature of the injury or illness an employee is unable to report to someone, it will be the responsibility of another worker who comes upon the incapacitated employee to report the incident immediately to a supervisor or manager. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy a safe visit to Kautex Textron Windsor.
Safety is important to me because I like to return home with no accidents.
I want to be able to go home to my family and my coworkers to go home to their family.
There's no job out here that's worth doing if you're going to get hurt.
I want to come in and I want to go home the way I came in.
First of all, that I'm safe, and also my coworkers are safe.
My mentality got to be straight. My mind got to be straight. It starts here with me.
Always respect what's in front of you. Always looking.
Family is important, and I look at them as family.
You need to look around on both sides and make sure that everyone's geared up for safety.
Well, safety is important to me because safety comes first. All right, everything we do out here, we want to be safe at it.
Because there's nothing more important than we do than ensure the safety of every person that walks inside this facility.
It's important to me because I want to be safe and I want to make sure that everyone around me is safe.
If somebody's missing, then somebody has to fill their spot, and then that hurts us all.
I want to be finishing my job safely and go home safely to my children to see them.
If we're not careful with safety, we can lose an eye, we can lose something, and we won't be able to enjoy our children.
I like to come to work and be safe and work in a safe manner and leave here in a safe manner so I can get back to my kids.
Based on the fact I have a family, I have people that are dependent upon me.
Like I say, my fingers, and to keep me healthy, I need to be safe.
Safety means that at the end of the day, when I go home to the little lady, that I arrive with all my fingers and toes.
Hi, I'm Dawal Shaw. This is my safety zone. If you come in this zone without safety glasses, we will stop you.
In my work zone, I keep my area, my floor clean, and I look around and see what tools hanging or are not proper.
Keep it clean would be the #1 thing.
I make sure that it's organized.
Well, I obsess the area. I look around, make sure my machine is clean.
How to keep my tools close to me and labeled.
Well, I make sure there's no clutter I can trip on.
If you work in a clean environment, then that helps you with your safety right there.
First and foremost, cleanliness.
Anything that I'm not going to use, make sure it's on the table, in its proper place, in its proper position. That way I can get ready for it and it is organized.
Keeping an eye out, trying to be proactive.
The floor is clean, so no slips and falls or anything like that.
Make sure that my area is clean. There's nothing that you can slip on.
You see oil spills, clean those up.
I try always to, where I'm working, to make sure there's not hoses laying around for me and for my colleagues.
Maintain all my parts here.
You can't open the door when the machine's live. Everything will stop. You have to make sure you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, or these machines will not run.
If I see something on the floor, I try to pick it up.
Ma responsabilité, c'est de me protéger moi-même, puis de protéger aussi les autres personnes qui m'entourent. Puis d'utiliser des méthodes de travail sécuritaires.
Mop every day 2-3 times and just stay safe, because when I leave that machine, as you can see on the floor, you know, it's dropping, it's cooling, and that could get sticky or slippery, either way it goes. And so I mop 2 or 3 times a day just to keep, to keep that away.
I take personal responsibility for safety by trying to observe situations over and over again to correct behaviors.
Making sure that not only I am doing them, but being aware of the people around me.
There is no rank when it comes to safety. It doesn't matter if you're a manager, a supervisor, or just a regular employee. When you see something, when you see an issue, you need to bring it to the attention.
I try to make sure to set a good example for everybody else.
Make sure everything's straight on me and my work area before I start.
Every day when I come out here, I try and keep my eyes open for any type of issues.
I do my part in keeping up with the safety around myself and others.
If a guy's doing something wrong and you walk up and you see him, you show him how to do it right.
Hello, I'm Lewis Campbell, Textron's Chairman, President, and CEO. As you know, we have a vision to be a great company, the premier multi-industry company. And we can't be a great company unless we also have a safe company. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. The role that each of us plays in creating the safest possible work environment. This is a subject I take very personally. It's important to sell our products and services, to see our stock price increase, to make good profits, but nothing is more important than making sure our people are safe. It's really all about Textron values of respect, integrity, trust, and the pursuit of excellence. Respect is particularly important because being safe fundamentally means respecting yourself and your colleagues. That's why I'm very pleased with the progress we've made in our safety record. Just look at the stats. Working together over the last few years, we've reduced work-related injuries by over 75%. This means that literally thousands of Textron employees have avoided pain and suffering and returned home safely at the end of every day. Beyond the major impact these reductions have had on our people, they've also helped us save millions of dollars. So you've done a great job to date, but our work is far from complete. Even with the improvements we've made so far, approximately 800 Textron employees will likely be hurt this year. So even one injury is too many, and this result just isn't acceptable. It's certainly not premier performance, since the best companies have injury rates up to 50% lower than ours. So we've really got to drive for an ultimate goal of 0 injuries. And that's where you come in. While we have a very talented group of safety professionals throughout the business, and while safety is something that I and the rest of the leadership team take very seriously, each of us individually is responsible for safety. Greatness starts with us, and safety is a big part of that equation. I expect each of you to join me to do your part to create the safest possible workplace. Get engaged in eliminating hazards. Make sure you get the proper training. When an accident occurs, help with the investigation to ensure that literally every corrective action is put in place. Greatness starts with each of us, and that makes a commitment to safety every single day. So take a moment to celebrate our recent safety accomplishments and success, and then let's roll up our sleeves and get back to work on making our goal of having 0 injuries. That's one very important way for us to become truly great. Thank you, and make sure safety is part of your everyday life, both at home and on the job. You owe it to yourself, your colleagues, and most importantly, to your loved ones.
My name is Lisa Wallace.
My name is Tony Partridge.
Richard Salazar.
Hello, my name is Klaus Koenig.
My name is Ken No.
Nina Stasinopoulos.
Dan Hanlon.
Terrence Bynes.
Mi nombre es Gildardo Gómez.
I work at Greenlee Textron in Genoa, Illinois.
Kautex San Antonio.
That's Cessna.
Bell Helicopter, Canada.
Textron Defense Systems.
With Jacobson.
I work at Greenlee.
I work at Kautex Textron.
Textron Marine and Lansisto.
Greenlee Textron.
Textron Systems.
Kautex Windsor.
I work at EasyGo Textron, and safety starts with me.
And safety starts with me.
Santé et sécurité, ça commence avec moi.
Safety starts with me.
Safety starts with me.
And safety starts with me.
I'm Lewis Campbell, and safety starts with me.